manage and monitor the resources as the project progresses. It's crucial to monitor how individual tasks are progressing so your project does not get knocked off course. So we have to see the deadlines. If any resource is not working properly or any maintenance required, we will need a plan to reassign these tasks and move their deadlines forward. So we have to take the steps according to the situation. Track the actual time spent on the task and activities. Finally, track everything so you make the project run even smoother. So now we have to check over planning at every step by tracking how many resources you use on each task as well as the time it took to complete them. You will be able to use the data to tighten up your future schedules. So you can make a template of that planning and you can utilize that template for the other projects of the same scenarios or same type. Our projects can be handled by the same planning template. So we have to overview our plan, either that plan was sufficient or good or not. Now preferred suppliers, because we have the externals are also affecting our deadlines and our progress of our project. So we have to make a list of preferred suppliers who are loyal with us. So we have to see some qualities in our suppliers. We have to make a preferred supplier list. So if one is not responding, we can go towards another supplier. So choosing the right supplier involves much more than scanning a series of price lists. We are not only going towards the cheap suppliers and inexpensive materials. Your choice will depend on the wide range of factors such as value of money, quality, reliability, service and communication, financial security, and partnership approach. We will discuss these. First thing is that quality. As we know, not the quantity matters, the quality matters. When we are not, when we are compromising on the quality, our customer will not be satisfied. So the quality of your supplier needs to be consistent. It is not like that. The first time they were giving me the high quality products, but in the next lot they are giving us the low quality products. So we have to ensure the quality must be consistent. Your customer associate your quality with you, not your suppliers, because you are supplying the things towards your customer. If you are purchasing the raw material that is not in the good quality in the last, you will compromise in your customer and organization and customer relationship. Now, strong service and clear communication. Now you need your suppliers to deliver on time. To be honest, if there is some issues are at there and they have to communicate their things properly and they have to give you the penalty or they can give us the warning if they are unable to complete their deadlines. Then the suppliers will want to talk with you regularly to find out what needs you have and how they can serve you better so they can communicate with you. Value of the money, the lowest price is not always the best value for them. You need the qualitative things at the specified time. If you want reliability and quality from your suppliers, you will have to decide how much you are willing to pay for your supplies. Strike between cost, reliability, quality, and service. So we have to manage all the things. Financial security. So we must be insured about the financial status of our supplier, because if we are giving them a higher order, some big order, sometimes their financial stability is not good and they will be enable us to facilitate us. So it always worth making your supplier has sufficiently strong cash flow to deliver with what you want when you need it. A credit check will help you that they would not go out of the business when you need them most. So we must be ensure about their financial status. Now the partnership approach, sometime we are making on the partnership based or relationship. A strong relationship will benefit both sides. You want your supplier to acknowledge how important your business to them. So they make every effort to provide the best service possible because you belongs to them and they belongs to you. So you are more likely to create this response by showing your supplier how important they are to your business because they are providing you the services. No reliability. Remember, if they let you down, you may let your customer down. So the relationship must be reliable with your supplier. Now remember the following before making the preferred list for your suppliers. Know your needs, spend time on research, ask around, credit check potential suppliers. Price is not everything. Agree on service levels before you start. Don't buy from too many suppliers because maintaining that um, activities and the scheduling will be very difficult. Do not have just a single supplier. Sometimes they will not be able to supply you, so you can switch to another. Now, just in time management, that is a way through which we can manage our resources. That is just in time management. Um, It is an inventory management method in which goods are received from the suppliers only as they are needed. Like we receive the demand from our customer, and according to their demand, we are giving them the order. So they are in line with us. So the main objective of this method is to reduce the inventory holding cost and increase the inventory turnover. It will be beneficial in the perishable things when we can't afford the cost of the expiry and other things, and we have not enough capacity in our stores. So we have a healthy relationship with our suppliers. We are giving them the orders according to our demand. So they will cooperate with us. That is just in time management. How it works, and that management ensures that the stock arrives at it is needed for the production or to meet the customer demand, but not very soon. We because the customer demand is not sure. So it requires long-term contracts with the reliable suppliers. In this process, all parts of any production or service system, particularly people, are interconnected because we are always in the communication. They inform each other and are mutually dependent in generating successful outcomes. What are the advantages of that DIT management? It reduces the inventory waste. As we have to discuss the effect of the wastage because sometimes our products go expires and sometimes the demand is not higher in the market and we have ordered a lot of things from our suppliers, so it go towards the wastage. So a just in time strategy eliminates the overproduction which happens when the supply of an item in the market exceeds the demand and leads to an unsaleable inventories. So we have to order according to our demand. So these unsaleable products turn into the inventory dead stock, which increase waste and consume inventory space. We will be unable to manage more things in our store. So we cannot maintain the variety in our stores. So in a just-in-time system, you order only what you need. So there is no risk of gathering unusable or saleable things. So decrease the warehouse holding cost because we need stores to hold over stock. So when we have limited stock, we don't has no, we don't need to purchase or take on rent the warehouses. So warehouses is are the expenses location. So and excess inventory can double your holding cost. So in just in time system, the warehouse holding costs are kept to a minimum because you order only when your customer places the order. Gives the manufacturer more control because that model only start in progressing when we make the order. So the manufacturer has the complete control over the manufacturing process, which works on the demand pull basis. So they can respond the customer needs by quickly increasing the production of an in-demand product and reducing the production when there is the less demand. Local sourcing in since just in time requires you to start manufacturing only when an order is placed. You need to source your raw materials locally as it will be delivered to you unit much easier. So we will prefer the local sourcing. Small investments in just in time model, only essential stocks are obtained and therefore less working capital is needed. So therefore, because of the less amount of the stock held in the inventory, the organization's return on their investment will be high. We can easily took over budget to other tasks or to other projects. Stock in control systems. Now that is another way to control the inventory. Stock control, otherwise known as the inventory control, is used to show how much stock you have at any one time and how you keep track of it. Efficient stock control allows you to have the right amount of the stock in the right place at the right time. Like we have the estimation in that month, which type of product must be at what quantity. So it ensures that the capital is not tied up unnecessarily and protects production if problems arises with the supply chain. So we must maintain our stock. How we can maintain our stock? These are the methods of the stock control. First is stock reviews. Your business will take regular stock reviews to establish what new stock must be ordered. So we must have a software or automated way through which we and that system can inform us to the and when any product goes towards the lower limit. This consider predefined figures that help business leaders make the decisions to order the new stock or hold up. Many businesses operate at the minimum level stock. The lowest point stock can go before more is ordered. Like we have to mention each and every lower. So the second method of stock control is fixed time or fixed level. In stock review, we have to overview our stock after some time, or you can say that in the regular basis, but in fixed time or fixed level, we have to fix a time and the amount at which we have to supply order for the supply. So it involves ordering new stock either at the fixed time, fixed level, or not. So, for example, a company may have a standing order for 500 units every third Sunday of the month. So that is fixed. And when we are sure about over delivery and other things are over demand, we can follow that method. So this type of stock control is particularly useful for the company with the fixed contracts and the stable demand. And other methods include just in time that we have discussed this stock control system organized, originated in the Japan as the name suggests stock is ordered as and when it is required to keep cost down. And we have to ignore or we have to manage our wastage. The company must be extremely organized in order to ensure the orders are made at the right time and the suppliers must be reliable to fulfill the requirements. So there must be a good relationship between the supplier and the company. So there is a risk of running out of the stock should be a big order be placed. So sometime might be there can be the problem occur and we will not be able to handle the stock at the right time. Economic order quantity. It is a complex mathematical formula that aims to keep stock at an optimal level depending on the type of firm and the industry it operates within. So that is complex. So mostly the persons are not utilizing that. So this calculation can be time consuming. So you may find it easier to consult a professional or invest in stock management software, which should be able to make out of the box. First in, first out. The system is popular with the businesses that has the perishable stock that has the expiry date. So it aims to ensure that the stock does not expire before the use. So that things come first. We have to sell that things at first. So stock is identified by when it was received and moved on to the next stage of production before the stock received at the later date. So we can easily utilize that product. Uh, batch control separates stock management and production into the batches. This reduces the complexity in production process and helps make sure short-term targets are met. So similar orders will be placed in the form of a batch. So batch control can also help to keep costs down as firms only need to raw materials and the components needed to satisfy the demands of the individual batch. So we are making a batch of the demands and then we are placing the order. Vendor management inventory, VMI, that is a relatively new model of the stock management that emphasizes shared risk between the buyer and the supplier. The buyer provides the information to the supplier about their stock requirements. The supplier is then responsible for maintaining a level of stock at the specified location. Normally, the buyer point of sale. So they are communicating with one another, but the seller is the supplier hold that products at their end. But when the buyer needs that products, the supplier will deliver that. So it helps to reduce the chance of understocking and reduces the time stock spends in the supply chain. So a specific amount will be hold at the supplier and it will be delivered according to the time or the demand. Process of monitor and control. The monitor and control phase of your project consists of reviewing your project against the approved plan to identify the variation. If they are going as the plan is our progress is according to our plan or not. So we have to monitor, and if our planning is not accurate and the product is not matching or the implementation is not as per planning, then we have to take the corrective steps and we have to control our project so we can the remaining progress can be more better. So by following the plan and gathering the relevant data, information will become available to the accurately identify issues and the problem. We can minimize the risk impacts. We can control and report the progress and keep you in the know. We know every time either we are near to our goal. Tips for monitoring and control. Monitor on the regular basis and list those monitoring activities in your pre-planned schedule to ensure they don't get skipped over. So along with the planning, we have to mention the monitoring methods and monitoring steps. Know what to look for. We must know what things we are going to look. Either we have to maintain the stock, either we have to maintain the deadlines, we have to maintain our budget. So we must know what we want to look for. So monitoring requires a measurement against a plan. So be sure to know what expected value is supposed to be for time, how far long should be moving. So we must be sure about the time, budget, each and everything. Keep good notes. When we are observing anything, we have to make the notes. An observation that seems like a small variation today might develop into something much larger in the future. So we don't ignore any variation. Your documentation will be extremely valuable in the cases if we are facing any larger variation in the future. We can determine from where the variation has started. So we have to make the notes. When monitoring reveals that the project is off track, quickly analyze the size and impact of the variances and then limit the damage. So we have to go towards the plan B, or we have to make the corrective steps. Look at your risk management plan along with the planning, as every project has the risks in that and the challenges in that. So we have to make a risk management plan. So we have to look over risk management plan to see if the identified variation were identified and what risk responses might be suitable. So according to that, we have to make the corrective steps. We have to search for the alternative solutions. Usually there is more than one way to address a problem. So we have to choose the best one. When possible, find and correct the root cause of the problem so it does not keep coming back. So for future, we have to make up in notes on a scenario in which we can determine that in the past, what was the reason because of that, and over planning will not match to over implementation. So in future, we have to ignore these things. So if the variations are major, consider developing a recovery plan project which would be separately planned monitored. So we have to go towards the other planning phase that is named as the recovery plan project, because we have to minimize our damage. Now we will discuss the impact of resource wastage. If we are not monitoring our stock very well, what will be the impact over project on our organization? So monitoring resources is essential for carrying out efficiently. Companies who fail to track their resources end up paying in the several ways, and the cost of poor resource management can be lost. So some impacts are given below. We will discuss these one by one. Increase financial cost, reduce profits, need of disposal of excess out of date stock, poor image, goods not delivered, manufactured or supplied, loss of customer base, and delay in the production. Now we will discuss these one by one. The first is out of date stock. When we are demanding or we are purchasing too many products and our demand is not high, there will be a lot of stock available in our storehouses. So if we are not managing our resources in a proper way and we have huge stock available, we have not delivered. This leads us towards the loss, because we have make a huge investment in the store or the warehouses, and there is no payback, and in future might be possible that product will not be in the demand, because the over market is a competitive market, and there is changes all the time. So we have to manage the stock in an efficient way. So sometimes we have to dispose out update stock. This leads and organizations towards a great loss. So we have to maintain stock according to our need. We can use any suitable methodology like just in time management. Poor image. Poor resource management create a system of inefficiencies that compromises the stability and success of organization work. Sometimes when you are going towards a loss or you are not good in managing your stock, your image is not good in the market, so it can impact every aspect of enterprise, from the interdepartmental relation to the top level planning and the execution. So no one is ready to work with your organization. So delayed delivery, compromised quality, and budget spike put in spoil project health. So this causes the client dissatisfaction and eventually business loss. So this leads an organization towards the poor image and the reputation. Goods not delivered, manufactured, or supplied. Incompetent allocation or booking high cost resources instead of the low cost, but similarly skilled workforces spike the budget, because we have to be very vigilant when we are going towards the ordering any product. So it can result in delivery delay, as significant time will be spent to manage the budget and financial crisis, because we can manage in the less budget, but according to our mismanagement, we have spiked over budget. So it takes a lot of time to maintain over budget. So as a result, we will be unable to manufacture products according to the demand, because we are out of the budget. So when any organization is unable to meet the deadlines, this results in the cancellation of the orders, because the other person has to react because we are not meeting our deadlines. So organization have to store undelivered stock. This leads an organization towards the failure. Loss of the customer base when we have no good image and we are not good in the management, then our customer will not be preferring our organization. So customer today have very high expectations. One one bad experience, and you may lose the customer to a competitor instantly because we are working in a competitor and market. There is high competition in the market. So if the customer don't feel they are getting the best value by the continuing to do business with you, they may move on to the competitor offer, which leads you losing the customer. Not only do the consumers do they have the high expectation, but they also have short attention spans and a little tolerance for inefficiencies because they have many options, so they can move towards any other organization. Poor resource management lead you to losing the customers, and good management can help you to keep them loyal with you. Can't plan ahead when you are not going good in the projects that are in progress. We cannot be sure about the future planning because we are unable to make the profit from our running projects. So inefficient resource management can really put a number on your long-term organizational goals. If you spread your resources too thin, you would not have the capacity to carry out the projects because you will be unable to attract the customers. So this in turn leads to the missed deadlines, overworked teams, and inaccurate forecasting for your clients and the stakeholders. So on the flip side, there could be a lot of potential products you are missing out on if you are not scheduling your resources as efficiently as you could be, because you can manage the resources and the projects at the pipeline or in the streamline, and you can manage our resources in the multiple projects at a time. But if our management is not good, it will not be happening. Budget increase when we are not managing the thing properly. We have to miss the deadlines and then it will increase the budget. So poor resource management can turn minor oversights and bottlenecks into your projects and maybe even the organization. So missed milestones and resource overbooking prolonged projects and eat into the budget cost. So this problem only compounded when you have multiple projects running simultaneously. So it will be more difficult to manage the resources and the shared resources. Sometimes it will be difficult to manage. So we have to utilize our resources in the best way. Is there any question or is there any issue?
No, a question regarding to today's lecture I don't have. It's everything is clear.
Take care. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Miss.
Allah Hafiz.